Well, no one here seems to be under any illusions as to whether this is an attempt by the United States to influence the Polish election. Supporters of Andrzej Duda and Andrzej Duda himself seem to be welcoming it with open arms. This morning he was selling himself before he took off from Krakow as the Polish president who has really improved ties with the United States. This is his fifth official meeting with Donald Trump, and the United States has increased its troop deployment to Poland while Duda has been president. He's hoping to come back from this visit with announcements of an even bigger US troop deployment and greater military cooperation with the United States. And the opposition also clearly think that this could be an electoral boost for Andrzej Duda if he manages to do that, because military cooperation with the United States is one of the few issues in Poland that has support really across the political spectrum. Most people here in the mainstream of politics seem to think that the more US troops and the more US military materiel on Polish soil there is, the better. So opposition politicians have been warning about just how enthusiastic Andrzej Duda might be about this. He wants that electoral boost. He needs that electoral boost. Donald Trump knows this, and perhaps Andrzej Duda will be forced to agree to conditions for the deployment of US troops that wouldn't be all that advantageous to Poland in terms of how much Poland is going to have to pay for it financially, in terms of judicial immunity for US troops stationed on Polish soil, things like that. Opposition politicians have also been underlining the fact that any agreement that the two presidents reach is really not worth the paper it's written on if Congress doesn't approve it, and Andrzej Duda is not scheduled to meet with anyone from the Congress Defense Committee, for example. They were pretty disapproving of this visit being so hastily organized so soon before the election. And then there's also the issue of what Trump is trying to do to Europe. Clearly, Trump is irritated by Germany. He's withdrawing troops from Germany. He thinks that this welcoming of Andrzej Duda and potential deployment of more troops to Poland is something that's going to irritate Germany, and opposition politicians are questioning whether Poland should be playing that game with the United States so enthusiastically, possibly to the detriment of its relations with the European Union.
Interesting, Gulliver. So what's at stake in Sunday's election when it comes to Poland's geopolitical orientation?
Well, it's really looking to be a very interesting election, because back in May, when the election was originally scheduled for May the 10th, Andrzej Duda looked like a shoo-in for re-election, but that election was postponed due to the coronavirus, and it was only after that that Rafał Trzaskowski, the Liberal mayor of Warsaw, announced his candidacy, and now the two men are polling neck and neck. It seems very likely that there will be a second round between these two men. If Trzaskowski wins, then there'll be a period of cohabitation, because Parliament will still be controlled by the ruling Nationalist Law and Justice Party. But supporters of the opposition think that this will be a chance to put a brake on the Law and Justice Party's authoritarian tendencies, Eurosceptic tendencies, and start to bring Poland back into the mainstream of the European fold. Others, though, say that if there is this cohabitation, it will just be chaos and political paralysis.